Thanks, Michelle. Good evening and welcome to Look North. First tonight, are you eating comfortably? New NHS figures show almost half of adults in our region are classed as overweight. That is the highest in England.
I weighed 30 stone and a half. My diet was really bad. I was basically eating convenience food. I knew that I had to do something because I'd been to the doctors and they told me that if I didn't change the way I was, I'd probably be dead in 5 years.
We're hearing from a man who lost 17 stone in his battle with a bulge. Also tonight, a complaint against police after a 16-year-old autistic girl is arrested following an alleged homophobic comment. We're roaring on the Lionesses. We're in Rachel Daly's hometown ahead of England's crucial World Cup match tomorrow. And meet the beautiful bears, providing much more than simply a comfort toy for children with a medical condition.
And it's felt lovely and summery out there today. Warm, sunny spells, and for many of us, it has been dry. But will those summery conditions continue over the weekend? I'll have the very latest towards the end of the programme.
Thanks, Kat. Hello, thanks for choosing Look North. How was your lunch? I had the cheesy chips, but perhaps I should have held back because we're starting tonight with the ongoing battle against obesity in our region and what we can do to tackle it, because it is a huge issue which impacts our health and well-being. Latest figures from the NHS show that not far off half of adults in our region are classed as overweight. 40%, in fact. That is the highest of any region in England. You're not alone in breathing in right now. A quarter of all adults are also classified as being obese, according to the Health Survey, meaning in total there are nearly 3 million adults in the region who are classed as carrying excess weight that could be damaging their health. Now, in a moment, we'll speak to an obesity expert, and what he has to say might shock you about what we can do to tackle the issue. But first, Jacob Tomlinson went to meet one man who made some major changes in his life to lose 17 stones in weight.
They say 5 a day keeps the doctor away. Well, how about walking 8 miles a day? It doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but for Bryn, it has the same effect. It all started 2 years ago when Bryn's life was very different to what it is now.
I weighed 30 stone and a half, and I'm now 13 and a half stone. 17 stone. My diet was really bad. I was basically eating convenience food. I knew that I had to do something because I'd been to the doctors and they told me that if I didn't change the way I was, I'd probably be dead in 5 years. It made me scared, anxious, and I knew that at that point I had to do something.
At first, Bryn started to walk just a few miles a day, but as he began to enjoy it more and more, he'd walk further and further, and now he wants to inspire people to get their walking shoes on and to enjoy the great outdoors.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, we're going.
Slowly, I walked around my garden for a week, then I went to the end of my street. I just built it up from there to now we walk about 50 to 60 miles a week. Broke it down into chunks, so I'd aim for 25 stone, then I aimed for 20 stone, but I never thought ever that I'd get to be fit where I am now.
What started out as a solo mission soon became a joint venture with his partner Paulette.
We try to do 6 to 8 miles a day, like say for instance yesterday we did 15 miles. We walked to Bradford and then got a bus back. I hope I've become a better dad now because I was in sort of self-destruct mode. It's just a shame that I missed out on so many years. It's like I'm a whole different person. It's like I've started life again at 48. Just try and get out as much as you can. It's really good for your mental health. If you just do it step by step, little by little, every day, it all helps. If I can inspire just one person to try and do the same thing, then that's good.
Jacob Tomlinson, BBC Look North.
Well, earlier I spoke to Professor Paul Gately, director of the Leeds Obesity Institute, and I began by asking him about the focus of his work.
So for the last 25 years, we've been doing research into understanding how best to impact and help people lose weight and keep that weight off. So we've worked at an individual level, and through an organisation called More Life, which is a part of Leeds Beckett University, we've been really trying to understand the key ingredients of successful weight loss management. But then what we've done is move that further forward to say, what are the layers in Leeds as a region or Yorkshire region, or what's the national policy? So as we peel back those layers, we're starting to understand how do we help individuals, how do we help individuals in communities, and then how do we help individuals at a national level?
So many questions. Let's start with here then. Are we particularly bad in this part of the world?
So in Yorkshire and Humber, we are trending above the national average.
And what factors then are at play? I guess diet, exercise.
So we've got diet and exercise, but inequalities is a big driver of obesity, because what we know is that if people are really worried about finances, actually foods that are perishable, and if you're worried about whether your children are going to eat, whether you buy an apple or whether you buy a packet of crisps, will make you think twice if that food goes to waste. Like an apple's perishable, whereas they think the crisps, I'll buy the crisps because they'll eat the crisps and they won't go off. But at the same time, we know that that's the less healthy option.
So convenience drives choice, drives diet, drives weight gain.
And money also drives choice and drives weight gain as well. So inequalities, and that's why Yorkshire is also challenged in this space.
So what can we do? Obviously, lay off the cheesy chips at lunchtime.
So there is a lot of individual things that we can do, and the work that we do with people is first of all understanding their context. Lots of people read a book and go on a crazy diet, but the diet's not relevant to their current lifestyle. So what they've got to do is take a step back and think about what they're doing in the context of their life. So people that work shifts, it's really hard to then manage that eating when you're in and out of your sort of day-to-day living. But some simple things are 3 meals a day, physical activity, filling our plates with sort of our leafy green vegetables, small part of protein, and lower the fat content. And, off the desserts every night of the week, maybe at a weekend.
So finally, we've just seen an example of someone losing an awful lot of weight by walking. Is walking alone the answer?
Walking is a great activity. It's something that everybody can do. It's something that doesn't cost us that much money. But in a sense, we have to walk a long way to lose weight.
That was my question. How far have you got to go?
You've got to walk a long, long way. So if we take, for example, a big-sized pizza, there are probably about the equivalent calories of a marathon in that. 26-mile marathon for most people. So to burn that many calories takes an awful lot of energy expenditure. So this young man who's lost this weight has done incredibly well, but I'm imagining if he's done it just through walking, he's walked an awful long way.
I will never look at a stuffed crust twice. Thank you very much indeed for coming in, Paul. You're watching Friday's Look North. Still to come on tonight's programme, it is a massive weekend of sport, and Sally is in London.
And we're at Wembley, where 3 of our teams are in action this weekend. Halifax face Batley in the 1895 Cup Final, and the Leeds Rhinos women are in the Challenge Cup Final.
We'll be live with Sally shortly, but first, today's other main news. West Yorkshire Police have received a complaint after a woman said her autistic daughter was arrested for an alleged homophobic comment. A video uploaded to social media showed the girl being detained at her home in Leeds early on Monday. Police said the 16-year-old girl was taken home after reports she was intoxicated in the city centre. Ollie Constable's with me now. Ollie, what do we know about this?
Well, Tom, this is a video that's been shared very widely on social media in this last week. It was posted by the girl's mum to TikTok, and it shows 7 police officers in her home in Leeds. It happened in the early hours of Monday after police said the 16-year-old had been taken home after reports of her being drunk and at risk in Leeds city centre. Well, when it was posted, it had the caption, "This is what police do when dealing with autistic children." It was alleged then that the girl made a comment about an officer looking like a family member who is gay. The mum says the officer took it the wrong way and said it was a homophobic comment, something the mum says it wasn't. Well, the following clip has been edited by us to protect the identity of the child.
She didn't aim it at the police officer.
It's not homophobic remarks that my colleague made.
It's not a homophobic remark. She said,
Where'd it go? Where's this? Does it go to right under there?
she's autistic. She don't like people touching her. She will have a meltdown. She won't come out. She's got autism.
So she can come out. Because we're trying not to do this, aren't we? We've been trying for a long time.
But she hasn't done nothing wrong.
As you say, that video has gone around the world, presumably on TikTok. What have the police said?
Well, the girl was arrested on suspicion of a homophobic public order offence. But in the last few minutes, West Yorkshire Police has told us that they won't be continuing a criminal investigation. It said it has reviewed evidence and made the decision to immediately release the girl from her bail. It said it would still carry out a review into what happened after it received a complaint about the incident. A senior officer tonight has said the force moved swiftly to review the evidence. They said they would like to reassure people it will take on board any lessons to be learned from this incident. Assistant Chief Constable Oz Khan said this: "We do appreciate the understandable sensitivities around incidents involving young people and neurodiversity. We're genuinely committed to developing how we respond to these often very challenging situations.
Ollie, a complicated story. Thank you very much for bringing us up to date. Now, some other headlines. A woman has pleaded guilty to the attempted murder of 3 children at a house in Huddersfield. A 4-year-old girl, a 2-year-old boy and a 3-month-old baby boy were found with serious stab injuries at the house in Walpole Road in February. A 34-year-old woman admitted 3 counts of attempted murder when she appeared via video link at Leeds Crown Court. Sentencing will be carried out at a later date and the woman was remanded in custody. And meanwhile, a woman has been arrested on suspicion of murder after a man in his 70s was stabbed to death in Sheffield on Wednesday evening. The victim was found in Parkland off Shortbrook Close in Westfield. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The woman, who is 32 years old, was arrested today and is in police custody. Let's get to the sport now. It is a massive weekend coming up, particularly in Women's Rugby League and football, with the Challenge Cup at Wembley and the England Lionesses in the quarter-finals of the World Cup. Let's do the rugby first. We'll go to Sally, who is in London for 2 big games tomorrow. Hi, Sally.
Yes, welcome to Wembley, where we've got 3 of our teams in action this weekend, competing for these cups here. Over here we have the Challenge Cup, the Women's Challenge Cup, and that is the Leeds Rhinos versus St Helens. More on that in a moment. And we've also got Halifax v Batley in the 1895 Cup, and this is a really big day for both of those teams, not more so than Batley, because in their 143-year history they've never actually played here at Wembley. Halifax have played here 7 times. The last time they met, which was last month, Batley came out on top, but it is going to be a really closely contested game, I think. Now, earlier today, both teams walked out on the pitch for their orientation here to get a sense of what it's going to be like tomorrow. We spoke to both of their head coaches, and they really are excited about what tomorrow is going to bring.
The club have never ever been at this great stadium, or the old Wembley Stadium, so for these players to be the first ones to represent Batley Bulldogs or Batley Rugby League Club at Wembley is a huge achievement for them, but also a huge moment for the club.
Seeing a few of the faces of the lads who've not been here before and experienced it at this level, yeah, nice to see. You know, hopefully the start of some good memories to be made over this weekend, and just come really to get a feel for the place. So it's that mental prep really that's important. Quite a short turnaround for us, those lads who've been working in the week and whatnot, so yeah, hopefully a valuable trip for us.
But before that, at midday, we have the Women's Challenge Cup final featuring the Leeds Rhinos versus St Helens, and this is a really historic day because the women have never been allowed to play at the final here at Wembley until now. Caitlin Beavers, you're going to be on that pitch tomorrow, and you've already walked out, haven't you? What did it feel like to come out of that tunnel here?
It's absolutely amazing just being able to have a look around at such a historic stadium, and as the game's been going along through the years, it's just been getting better and better, so we can't wait to put on a display.
And what makes this so special to be here at Wembley for the first ever time?
Well, it's something that we thought would never be available, especially in my playing career, and as I mentioned, the game's just getting better, and I think this is warranted, so I think we're ready to put on a show and show people why we should be playing here.
And is it fair to say, perhaps, that you are the underdogs going in tomorrow?
Some might say that, but I don't really agree. I think we've had a rocky season, but we're definitely out to prove this one.
It's going to be a tough game, though, isn't it? It's going to be a closely fought game, I think.
Yeah, it always is against St Helens. There's some really experienced players in their squad, and we've got a good team out this weekend, so we're looking forward to a really tough battle.
What's your day been like so far? Have you travelled down today on the coach, and then how are you preparing? How are you keeping those nerves at bay?
Yeah, we travelled down early this morning. A fantastic club in Leeds. We had the directors and sponsors in for a breakfast with us, so it was good to have a send-off by them, and the supporters all came down and waved us off the bus. But yeah, the prep is absolutely fantastic. All the staff are getting round us and making sure that we're doing everything right to make sure that we can play at the best standard. But in terms of the nerves, obviously walking out, my heart sunk a bit, but I'm sure we'll all be fine after a few minutes on the day.
Well, good luck tomorrow. Best of luck to you. And it is a really big weekend for 3 of our teams. I'm looking forward to watching both of them in action tomorrow.
Yeah, we're multi-screening at Look North over the weekend. And on to football, our only team in the Premier League gets their season underway tomorrow, because at 3 o'clock the big moment will arrive at last for Sheffield United and their fans. They kick off the new Premier League campaign at Bramall Lane against Crystal Palace. That said, the sale of some key players on the eve of the season has unsettled some supporters. The manager, however, is sure his team can be competitive.
Usually in times like this, we can surprise a lot of people, you know, and so I'm not scared of it. I'm not fearing what's gone off or dwelling on what's gone off. It's about this game, and this game's one that's exciting me and the players. And from this moment on, from this point on, we should only be getting stronger. And yeah, that's if we do the right things.
Now, 5 players from our region are in the England squad for tomorrow's Women's World Cup quarter-final against Colombia. One of them is Harrogate's Rachel Daly. She began her early career at Killinghall Nomads, where Beth Parsons is with us tonight. Beth, there must be so much excitement there tonight.
Oh, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of sunshine as well right now. We're going to talk to 3 7-year-olds in a second who are hoping to follow in the goal-scoring footsteps of Rachel Daly. A lot of people here obviously very proud of her. They've named their cafe after her, Nomad's Daily Brew it's called. There's a mural in there, and it's a place for all the parents to get a tea and coffee while some of these are training. As you can see behind us, they are now in a very similar position to how Rachel Daly was a few years ago. Most of these are 7, 8 and 9 years old, and they actually sent a very special surprise all the way to Australia for Rachel herself.
This has come all the way from Killinghall Nomads, all right? This is for you, OK? We've actually got one, and that's for you.
Perfect, thanks.
I mean, it's a shirt from your grassroots club.
That's
We wanted
quality.
you to have a little bit of a memento whilst you're out here to show their support and also to show how proud they are. I mean, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I love it. I think it goes a long way. I've played for them, my brother played for them, my dad played for them. So it's definitely in the family and in my roots. And yeah, it's a club that will always be there in my heart.
Normally, these would be wearing those exact T-shirts, but today they've come donned in their England shirts, and with 3 of the super Lioness fans here. I've got Mila, Ophelia and Amelie. A big hello. Hello! Now, it's kick-off tomorrow at 11:30 when England are going to take on Colombia. How many of the games have you already watched?
Quite a few.
Quite a few, and they were on very early, weren't they? Because Australia's on the other side of the world. Did you have to set alarms and things to get up that early?
I didn't really have the alarm, but sometimes Daddy had to wake me up. And I think England's going to win for sure.
I think they're going to win for sure as well. Now, have you heard of Rachel Daly before?
Yeah.
And how do you feel knowing that you play on the same pitch as she did when she was your age?
I feel very, confident and amazing, and it blows my mind.
Does it blow your mind? What do you think your predictions are for the game tomorrow? What do you think?
10-0.
10-0? What do you think?
11.
11? What are Colombia going to get?
11-0.
11-0. And you?
6-0.
6-0. Well, there's some very confident predictions here. And of course, you could be following in Rachel's footsteps. Would you like to be footballers when you're older?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I think the only thing left to say here, we're going to hand it over to you 3 to say a very big goodbye in a very special football style. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Off you go, ladies.
Come on, England!
That is top quality punditry there. We absolutely love it. Thank you very much indeed. Someone else who'll be watching closely in the morning will be 9-year-old Tess from Knaresborough. You might remember Tess. She became a TV sensation last summer when she was given a ticket to the Euros final by none other than Gabby Logan. Going to be chatting to her and her mum in a moment. But first, here's a reminder of what happened.
This little girl who seemed to be enjoying every single moment of sweet Caroline.
The girls in the dressing room, they were inspired by that test. You won't even understand how much you've inspired the girls, because when they were younger, they couldn't have the dream that you're having right now.
It's so great to meet you in the flesh, Tess. You've given so many people such joy, and I think you personify what this is all about.
Just wanted to say a massive thank you for all your support this summer. We've loved hearing you on the TV and on Twitter.
So good. So good. So good. So good.
Well, Tess and Grandma Sue join me now. Tess, what do you remember of last summer, first of all? It looked like a brilliant day out.
It was crazy. It was like
It was fun, but at the same time I had no clue what was going on, so I was just a bit, do I do this or do I do that? I just went with it.
You must have been thrilled the Lionesses picked up the trophy at the end of it, though.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. It was just so fun to watch them enjoy themselves as much as they did.
Sue, where does this passion for football come from? Your side of the family?
I think it probably is my side of the family. All been Manchester United fans, which probably shouldn't
Please
mention.
don't say that on Look
No,
North.
beg your pardon, beg your pardon.
We've got to talk to Ofcom now.
Beg your pardon. But yeah, it's my son has got a passion. He teaches youngsters as well. He's got 2 teams that he runs.
So what does your household do tomorrow morning? Are you glued to the television? What's the plan?
I'm pretty sure we're going to Percy Fields, which is my old football club's pitch, to do some football.
What do you think the score is going to be?
Oh, I don't know. They're a very defensive team.
You sound like a coach in the making. You've certainly thought about this answer, haven't you?
Maybe 3-1 to us.
Fantastic. And what will happen if they go all the way to the final? You're not going to have to suddenly get on a plane to Australia, are you?
Well, wouldn't that be lovely? No, I don't think so. But Tess is actually in London that weekend when England get to the final.
Oh, very confident.
I should say. So you need to find somewhere to watch the final in London, don't you?
Probably go in a pub with me drinking loads of Diet Cokes.
That is, that is the drink of champions, obviously. Now, look, you've done the commentary, you've been to the match, you've got the kit, you play. Are you a Lioness in the future?
I want to say I am, and I want to be. So, yeah, I just want to carry on playing football.
Has she got the talent to go all the way?
Oh, I think she has. She's got the determination as well. I mean, she is never without a ball at her feet, which is, pretty taxing in the house.
It's safe to say I've broken a lot of things and my mum is not happy.
I was about to say there's a few ornaments being smashed, haven't they? Well, I hope
There
you've got
is.
fully comp insurance.
Oh, yes.
Sue, Tess, thank you very much indeed. Fingers crossed, not only for the Lionesses, but for your England career.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Tess and Sue. Now, the award-winning singer Lewis Capaldi has helped support a Leeds dad who makes specially adapted soft toys for children with medical conditions. The singer paid for a promotional video and posted it on YouTube, where it's already been viewed nearly 1 million times. It's helped raise funds for the not-for-profit organisation run by Nick Hardman, who makes the medical teddies at his home in Morley. Kathy Killick takes up the story.
2 days a week, this ordinary family kitchen in Morley is transformed into something totally different. It becomes a production line, making bespoke soft toys for children with medical aids and disabilities. From nasal tubes to heart monitors. If the child needs them, so does their teddy. Volunteers, including retired nurses, help equip the teddies, so the medical details are correct.
These toys achieve also learning through play. So if the child is scared of going into hospital, they don't understand what the devices are, then they can, and also for the siblings, if they've got younger siblings, then they can explain to their brothers and sisters what they've got and how it works. So it's really important. It's a comfort not just for the child, but also for the family.
The mastermind behind the operation is computer programmer Nick Hardman. He first featured on Look North 3 years ago when he came up with the idea in lockdown, using 3D printers he had programmed to make the toy devices. Now his team of volunteers has helped Nick supply nearly 3,500 soft toys to children with medical conditions.
It has been a lot of work. And it's been emotionally really, really hard as well. But so rewarding. Like, I've designed maybe 150 different toys so far, and I run these machines 24/7 and keep them all in stock for the teddy surgeons to pick from. It's a lot of work, but it's so worth it.
She said Nick's efforts were spotted by the singer Lewis Capaldi, who paid for this video to be made for his YouTube channel, giving Nick much-needed publicity.
I want to help as many children as possible. This is not a money-making activity. It never has been. I just want to help every single disabled child get a teddy like them.
A thank you teddy, complete with guitar and microphone, was made for the star, one of thousands being delivered by whatever means possible, even Nick's motorhome for trips to the post office. This is a man on a mission to use his skills for the benefit of others. Kathy Killick, BBC Look North, Morley.
Thanks, Kathy, and congratulations, Nick. What an amazing story. Good luck with the project. I still remember my first teddy, but, you know, it's not going to beat that, is it? You know, you can imagine receiving something like that being so special.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm still a fan of teddy bears. Paddington, for example, who, by the way, has 500,000 followers on Twitter. He's got his own Twitter account.
He can do anything, can't he?
Absolutely.
What have you got for us weather-wise?
Well, it's going to stay very settled through this evening and overnight. And actually, many of us this morning actually woke up to clear blue sky. You can see in this photo here taken in Kirklees, hardly a cloud in the sky. But as the days progressed, we've had a bit more cloud around, but it's still been well patchy, well broken, so we've held on to those sunny spells, and it's really going to stay that way through this evening, so a lovely evening ahead. So thank you very much, as always, for sending in your photos. Keep them coming. You can send them via Twitter or Instagram, or head to our Weather Watchers website. So tomorrow morning is going to be the best of our weather. It's going to be a bright start to the day, cloudy with a few showers through the afternoon. Some of those showers could potentially fall heavy and thundery. Here's our old friend, this area of low pressure that will work its way in from the west, so potentially heavy and thundery showers tomorrow afternoon. Still quite showery on Sunday, but there'll be fewer around, and it is going to stay quite blustery. So as I mentioned, you saw in that Weather Watchers photo from this morning, lots of blue sky around today, and it will stay very settled and bright through this evening. So spells of sunshine at first, lengthy clear spells through the course of the night. I think any showers will stay to the north and west of us, and our temperatures tonight will fall away to around 13 Celsius, a mild start into our Saturday morning. So for your high waters, Whitby at 1:47 and again at 2:26. So tomorrow mornings when we get the best of the dry and bright conditions, some lovely spells of sunshine at first. It will cloud over through the afternoon, showers or longer spells of rain. You can see the green in that rain indicates those really sharp ones, so potentially heavy and thundery. Watch out for those. But there's some really good signs that it should brighten up again by the end of the afternoon. So not all doom and gloom. We're looking at highs tomorrow of around 21 Celsius. So our temperatures actually cooling through this weekend. Nothing like yesterday when we hit around 28 degrees in Bramham. So very similar temperatures through Sunday, around 21 degrees. There's still going to be a few showers around with the occasional sunny spell. It is going to stay quite blustery, so any showers we do get should rattle through quite quickly. Lighter winds on Monday with the best of the sunshine towards the end of the afternoon.
A quickie, I'm going to the Kettlewell Scarecrow Festival tomorrow up north near Skipton. Any good?
What time?
Morning.
Oh, best of the weather is in the morning.
Yes,
Yay!
that's what we want to hear. Thanks, Kat. Thank you very much indeed. Phil is here at 10:25 from your Friday evening gang. Take care. See you soon.